So hi guys, my name is Jaleesa and of course this is Infinite Modesty Design. Now in this video, you'll be making a fabric wallet with buttons, so stay tuned. One thing we want to get in the fabric wallet now, the measurement we have for the wallet here is about 13. So 13 inches by about 9 inches. Okay, so 13 by 9 inches. And then you want to get 2 pieces of fabric, 13 by 9. Right? So usually I'll just say one, this is my main fabric and this would be my lining. Okay, so if you want, you could actually get 2 pieces of the same fabric, that's perfectly fine. And then we have our loop. Okay, so the loop itself now is 4 inches by 2 inches. So it's a small little piece of cloth, 4 by 2 inches. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is you could also make a pattern. So the same measurement I just gave you, make a pattern. So at least the next time you're doing another fabric wallet for yourself, for your family, you know, to give, to sell, whatever the case may be, you have the pattern, okay? All right, so this is what we're gonna also do. We're gonna also put interfacing. It's lightweight interfacing. Now, it's not something that you must do if you don't have right now, but it's something that helps give your bag structure. Okay, so let's get started. So what we're gonna do here, I am gonna actually take one of the interfacing here and I'm gonna go right side. So let me just put everything aside and show you. So this is my fabric here. So the fabric I have here, it's really difficult to see which one is the right side and which one is the wrong side. But I have an idea which one is the right side and which one is the wrong side. So what I'm gonna do, the right side of the fabric, I'm gonna put it on the table. That means the wrong side is facing me here, okay? So it's the same thing I'll do for this here. So the right side of the fabric is facing the table. And this one, let me make sure I have it. Yep, so the right side of the fabric is facing the table and this is the wrong side facing me here. I'm gonna take my interfacing now. This is the rough side of the interface. This part is the glue, okay? I would put it on the wrong side of the fabric. Okay, so that means this one is the smooth side. This is the side I'm gonna actually iron on. So I'm gonna iron the interface on the wrong side of the fabric. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually put 2 layers on this. I'm not gonna put any interface on the lining. I am putting 2 layers. You could just go ahead and put 1 layer. You don't have to put 2 layers, okay? I'm just putting 2 layers because I want it a little bit stiff. That's the only thing. I want it a little bit more durable than just with 1 layer, okay? So once I'm done with this one, you're gonna iron to make sure it stick. Then I am going to iron this one as well, right? And it should stick. So once that is done, okay, once that is done, I'm just gonna rest it aside a bit. Then I want to also iron the interfacing on my piece of loop. This is the loop here. So same thing, this is the wrong side of the loop. The right side is touching the table. And then I have my interface in here. So this is the rough side, the glue is going on the wrong side, and this is the smooth side, and I'm gonna iron it down. Okay, so I'm just gonna iron a little piece. So hopefully it works for me really nicely. Excellent. So once I iron it down, if there's extra interfacing like showing out here, I'm gonna trim them out. And then once I trim them out, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do next. So I'm gonna trim it out a little. And then we will prepare this to go on our sewing machine. So I'm gonna just trim it out, yep. So any little extra interface, you just trim it out, make sure it's not there. Good. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do here. And I'm gonna take the loop, I'm gonna start preparing the loop first. I'm gonna take the loop, so this is the right side. As you know, I'm gonna touch it like this. So that means I'm closing the right sides. So wrong sides, touching wrong sides, and then I'm gonna iron it down. Okay, iron it down nicely. So I'm just preparing my loop for now, okay? So this is how it is, all right? So you see this is the wrong side. This is the right sides, right, facing us. So I just close the wrong side together like this. Then I'm gonna take this now and I'm gonna close it down again. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna take this. You could do it one at a time anyway. Just take one side and bring it down to the middle part. You fold that part, you iron that part, all right? Then you're gonna take this side now and bring it down to this side. And again, you're gonna iron it down, all right? Very good. Then you're gonna close it down nicely like this. and your loop is all prepared. Okay, so it's like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna take some pins and just put 2 pins to kind of keep it in place until I am ready for it. Okay, very good. Next thing, what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna pass my iron here. If there's any rough part of your fabric that is rough, you're just gonna iron it down. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do here. Any extra interface in here, I'm just gonna trim it down here. Okay, and once you're satisfied with everything trimmed down, then you're gonna put the right sides. So just gonna pass this quickly again. So right side's facing me. As you know, this is the wrong side, is facing the table. And if your interface, you could just really iron it down so your interface could stay down nicely. Then this is what I'm gonna do, guys. Okay, I'll make this really, really, really simple. All right, we're gonna first go ahead and sew our loop down, and then we'll come back and set this up. Okay, but this is like very, very, very simple. Very simple. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Okay, so what you want, so guys, what you want to do now is just to sew this down. So I'm just gonna sew it right at the very edge. Right at the very edge. So I'm gonna sew it down right at the very edge. Just take my time and sew it down at the very edge. Okay, so this is done. All right, so what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna fold this like cross the legs just a little bit, not fully cross, but like just halfway cross the legs like this. Like you bring this part like half over the other side here, and I'm gonna put a pin here. Hope you see that. You could fully cross the legs, but I just want to make it at least half, and it's kind of thick there, so I'm just gonna kind of see if I could make sure the pin don't poke me. Perfect. Okay, so what we're gonna do here now, on the main fabric here, so the main fabric here, what I've done, I have folded this in half, and then I'm ironing because I want actually a crease in the middle. Okay, so once I fold it in half, it doesn't matter which side I use, I'm just gonna use one side. Okay, so I use this side here, so that's my crease in the middle here, and I'm gonna take this and put it exactly in the middle of the crease here, so just like this. All right, then I'm gonna take a pin and pin on this side. Okay, and then I'll take another pin and pin on this side, so I'll really pin it down there. Okay, so I just want to make sure that it is in the middle. Then what I'm going to do here now, I'm just going to go ahead and tuck it down in the machine, just sew it down right here. All right, so I'm just going to tuck it down on this side. I'm just going to put it at the edge of the presser foot. And what I'm doing, because I have a lot of pins here, I'm just going to walk it with my hands first, just to kind of get a little loop. So I'm pretty much not using my pedal, just my hands for now. I'm going to walk it with my hands. Because I haven't taken the pin yet, I'm just walking it. So I'm going to back stitch walk again. Then I'm going to pick up my pin because I want that area is very, very stiff. So okay, so now I'm going to take out my pin because my thread is secure. Okay, I'm done. Just want to make sure it's secure. Our bag is almost done, to be honest with you guys. Okay, so I just want you to look at this because I know the colorful is so colorful. So just to see, just you tuck it right at the edge. It's not half an inch stitch, it's nothing. Just put the edge of the loop here to the edge here, and then you're done. Okay, just sew it down. Okay, so we have this loop to put our button itself. All right. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna leave this like this, right sides facing me. So right sides facing me. Then I'm gonna take my my lining. And like I said, the lining could be the same thing, as this is not a matter, doesn't matter. And I put the right sides touching right side. So right side of my lining, touching the right side of my fabric. And I'm gonna pin all the way around, but I'm gonna also leave an opening. So let me show you what we're gonna be doing now. pin all the way around. So when we pin it, we just want to make sure we level to level. So level to level here, level to level, level to level. Make sure you have a good set of pins. Level to level. Everything's supposed to be nicely level together. Because this is where my loop is. So it's really tough. Okay. Okay, so just go all around and just pin it around. Then we're gonna leave an opening. We can leave an opening either on the side or the top, either way. So I could just decide I'm gonna leave it at the top because I might top stitch the edge of the bag, or I could leave it on the side. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually leave it at the top here. Okay. And you will understand why I'm saying at the top once we get there and we start folding. That's why I want you to pin it all the way around nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna leave at least about a 5-inch opening here. Yeah, I'm gonna open it like, I'm just gonna leave like this space opening here. Around 5-inch. You could go around 4-inch, 3-inch. I'm just gonna go around, roughly around 5-inch. Let's see. Yep, about 5-inch opening here. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now, I'm gonna go on the machine, gonna do a back stitch, go across here, sew, come here, half an inch stitch here. Gonna sew all here, half an inch stitch here. I'm gonna sew all here. When I reach about the loop, I'm gonna do a back stitch just to make sure I get this really secure. Then I'm gonna come here, half an inch stitch, half an inch stitch, and half an inch stitch, and I'm gonna do a back stitch, and then we'll come back here. Okay. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna start on one end, half an inch stitch. I'm gonna follow my half an inch stitch guide on my machine. Take out my pins as I go. Okay. Put my light on. Take my pin out here. Okay. Turn for my half an inch. See, when you're here now, it's really tough, like I mentioned, because our loop is there, so there's several layers of fabric we're going to do. So what I'm going to do, I am going to go ahead and do a back stitch there. Okay, guys, so we are done. Okay. You just trim out any extra threads. My opening is here. So I'm done. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna nip these corners. Okay. Okay. Good. Now I'm gonna use my opening to turn my my back completely out. And you also want to make sure you poke the corners out nicely to get them and poke them out really, really nicely. With all the corners out really pretty and nice. If you have a turner, a point turner, if you have a non-sharpened pencil, you can also poke it out, or a pen that doesn't have the, okay, I'm just gonna take this out and I'll poke it out here. The goal is that you get the corners out nicely out itself. Okay. All right. So your next job now is to iron this down. So iron it down nicely, and then we'll come back and set up our purse. Okay. Okay, guys. So this is how it is here. So once you iron it, see how it is. Then you could go on the machine and do just a very narrow top stitch from this end here. You do a back stitch, and then you come to this end here, and then you seal, because you just want to seal this opening here, right? Okay. Now, once you've done that, so I want to do that after, but once you've done that, let me show you what you will do next to shape your purse. From the top here, you would measure at least 2.5 inches down. Okay. So let me show you. I'm gonna mark it. From the top, this is the top where my loop is. I'll just measure 2.5 inches down. 2.5 inches down from the top here. Just remark, perfect. And then 2.5 inches down from the top here. Okay, so at that 2.5 inches down now, you're gonna bring your bottom part up to touch that 2.5 inches down. And what you could do, you could actually just use a pin and just pin it down. 2.5 inches down. Okay. This is a little pin. I don't want to pin it down. I'm just going to pin it this way. That's fine. Right. Okay. So once you have that, you settle it. Just gotta be careful with my iron. Then you're gonna bring this down like this. Okay, guys. So once you bring this down like this, then you have your position to know where would you put your button. Okay, so I'll put my button like right here. Right here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my button and I'm just gonna put a little dot here so I know exactly where I'm gonna put my button. Perfect. Then I'm gonna be sewing my button down, pushing my hand on the inside, and then sewing it down. Okay, so once I sew it down, right, the next thing I'm gonna go ahead and do, I'm gonna go on my machine and I'm gonna do a top stitch from here. So I'm gonna sew from here, back stitch, come down to here, back stitch, I'm done. From here, come down here, back stitch, and I'm done, and my button is sewn, and then I'm gonna put my loop in. All right, good stuff. So first, before you do anything, make sure you seal this edge. Okay, so seal this edge, right? Then you do top stitch up, you bend it down like this. You could just pin it lightly, okay? And then you could measure for where your button gonna be. Then the way your button is gonna be, just actually put a little hole here, something like that. Okay, so anyway, let me go ahead and make sure that you get everything nicely step by step. So the next thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go on the machine, I'm gonna seal this down first. I just kind of show you how we're gonna finish it up. So what I did, I just do a little top stitch here like I mentioned to you, right? I do a top stitch here, and I showed you how I measure down for the button. Can I put my stuff here, put a pin here, and then I get a little pin for the buttonhole. So I sewn the button in here already, see? Okay, so now it's just to measure down this. So once you're measuring down this to the measurement, you could just want to make sure you put everything inside. So I'm just repeating the same thing I did earlier. That's it. And I'm gonna put this here. Just want to make sure everything stays nicely inside. Okay. As you start wearing the purse, because remember, so you need space for the purse, everything will start settling down nicely. So just want on the edge here to make sure you're clean here. So the last thing I'm gonna go ahead and do, guys, is just to go on my machine and do a top stitch from here down to here, from here down to here, and I'm done. So now on the other side, I could just start from the bottom. Same method. Okay guys, so now we are finished. We do our stitch here. See, just right at the very edge, you just sew it down. And what I've gone ahead and do, if you want, you could actually do a top stitch as well at the very top. Now it's not a must, so I didn't put it on the camera itself. I didn't do it on, I didn't mention it earlier. If you want, you could actually just do a nice top stitch here. I'm just gonna show you one that I have a nice little top stitch here. This is the bigger one. I have a like a 1/4 inch sort of a top stitch here to actually bring it even to be more tailored. So this is a bigger one that I have made. The good thing is that you could always do different sizes. So this one I shape it up nicely, and this one again I shape it up itself, right? And I put a buttonhole here for this one. I didn't put loop, and I have my pockets. But this is the final work of how we did. Okay, so everything is there. You have your nice little fabric wallet, very nice and fancy, and then you have your loop to put your button, to sew on your button. That's it. Okay, so go ahead and try yours, of course, as well, for you to try out. So all these are fabulous gifts. Again, my name is Jaleese, and of course I want to see you post all your fancy fabulous purses in our group. This is Jaleese at Infinite Modest Design. Take care, guys.